So my daughter, like surprise of all surprises, bought me this. She came home and said, "Mom, I got something. Here's a little present." Well, she didn't hand it to me. She threw it across the table, and I was like, "No, there's dents. Don't do that." And she didn't know how old this was, and so I was like, "That looks like it." Oh, she's opening and closing the fridge right now. Sorry about that. I was like, "That looks like the 1930s. That looks like it's Art Deco." And she's like, "I don't know. I don't care." And she grumbled and went inside. And so now this is a Ronson lighter. And I don't know if you can see that. But this is called their Mastercase. And the Mastercase was made from, I believe, 1933 and for 20 years. So I'm going to try to open this and show you the inside. And what I love about it is the engine turn design inside. Look at that. We have a patent number in there, 19023. And again, I looked it up and it was made from 1933 and for 20 years. So it could be from the 40s or 50s also. It might not be their 1933 one. It also has a Canadian patent inside of it. Let's try to take a look at that. You can see that right there, US patent number 110, 19023. Oh, no. Number 19023. It is a 19023. I tried to look up the patents, couldn't find it. Here we go, Ronson Mastercase, trademark. Now, I am going to try to get this thing working. It has a wick, and I'll show that to you. By the way, look at how beautiful this is inside. Sorry for the racket in the background. My daughter's walking around right now. All right, so let's check out the wick. It still seems to have a wick. There we go. The flint looks semi-okay, and I'm going to try to fill it with fluid. But first, before I do so, and there goes the dog. Sorry about that. Always somebody to interrupt. It has the initials MD on it. Don't know if you can see that. And I'm going to try to polish this up with Simichrome. And let's see if it helps to buff some of the scratches out of it. So take a look at it now. It's covered in scratches. It looks sort of dull and lifeless. There we go. There's the other side. Dull and lifeless. So we're going to get the Simichrome out and try to get some of these scratches out and clean it up. I'll be right back. All right, it's not as clean as I wanted it to get, but what do you expect on something this old? So you can see it's shiny, and yeah, you can see the initials better, and it's cool. It says MD, and there goes the dogs again to interrupt another one of my videos. It always happens that way. And let's check out the back, and you can see it's much shinier. And I just want to get this thing. Oh my God, will you shut up? Oh, I can never do a video. It's either the kids, the husband, or the dogs. Yeah. All right, so I don't know if this is from 1933, but I do know in 1933, their Mastercase lighters sold for equivalent to, in today's money, about $150. That was quite a bit of money back then. So actually, let's try to open this up again, look inside. Now, I didn't have to touch anything on the inside because it stayed so nice. It was well protected from the case. But I'm going to try to figure out how to get lighter fluid in here and get this to work, because I'd like to carry my cigarettes around in it. I'm really sorry for the dogs. They always do this. Can never make a video in peace. I need one of those YouTuber soundproof rooms, and it's not going to happen. All right, so let's see if I can get this Ronson vintage lighter to work. Now, if it was made in 1933, this would be 90 years old. And I found out the real truth of my daughter getting this for me. Turns out that she did not buy it for me. She works at a job where there's a lot of elderly people. And an elderly person came in and asked her if she smoked. And she said, well, my mother does. And the little old man handed this to her and said, here, I'm sure she could use this. I guess that was his last will and testament for this object, and he gave it to her. Okay, so cool. I have this snazzy new case to carry my cigarettes around in, but I want to get this lighter to work. That's like really important. So this is just about the stupidest thing anyone who has no expertise in vintage lighters can do, but I'm going to try it anyway. I might catch on fire. I hope not. So I think this is where you would put the fluid in. Now, I don't have a liquid. I just have the aerosol liquid. So this might be a bad idea. So I'm going to try to get this screw off, and I'll be right back. So you don't want to lose your screw, otherwise you're screwed. And all All right, so this is what you get. You get some kind of fill receptacle. Let's give it a try now. I don't know if this is going to work. So we'll have to see. Now my daughter's coming down the stairs. I hear her and I get nervous when other people are around me when I'm doing stupid shit. And I hope I don't catch on fire. We will see. I think you're supposed to press this down. Oh, shit. That's not smart. Ah, it's cold. Ah, fuck, it's cold. Now I got lighter fluid all over my gloves.
Oh, and when I go to get some matches out.
Oh, no, why don't we not? Oh, God, it stinks. It smells like shit. Wait. Okay, how do you know if you put enough in here? Okay, yeah. I think that's enough. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so that did not work. It actually formed ice. I'm not kidding you. A chunk of ice on the outside of the case. And I had to actually get like warm water and actually get the chunks of ice off of it. So what did we learn, boys and girls? Don't try to fix these things on your own if you don't know what the hell you're doing. And definitely, this type of fluid is not going to fill it up. You need the liquid that comes in a can that you just like pull the top and just pour it in. Not the type that has Freon in it, if you know what I mean. This case is freezing cold right now to the touch. Absolutely freezing. I mean, we'll give it another try, but it's ice cold. It's probably turned to ice inside of there. And maybe I just need a new flint and the proper fuel. All right, so let's find out more about these lighters. Now, again, back in 1933, when they first came out, they were about $135 to $150. That was quite a bit of money. And the reason why it was so expensive was because it was like this cool innovation that you could put cigarettes in one side, cigarettes in another side, and have a lighter that's built in. Let's see if a standard filtered cigarette can fit in here. That's actually the test. All right, so these are my own brand cigarettes. My name's Deanna, so I call them D-Lights. And it only cost me $1.50 a pack to make my own cigarettes. And why pay the government in New York $15, $16 a pack when I can save $13.50 to $14.50 on a pack? Yeah, screw Uncle Sam. I'm not paying you. So I can avoid all the taxes and save myself some money. There we go. And will it fit standard cigarettes? And the answer is, oh, no, it doesn't. Well, shit. So what does this tell us? This is going to tell us that this is probably one of the earlier cigarette holders. And yeah, the ones that came with, like, say, the Camels with no filters. When were filters started to be made on cigarettes? We'll find that out in a moment. Okay, so now we can probably date this cigarette case / lighter. I found out that the first filtered cigarettes were introduced at about 1950. Before that, they didn't know the dangers of the tar and nicotine, and so cigarettes came without filters. So this is prior to 1950. My guess, 1930s, 1940s. Not bad for some old man customer coming up to my daughter at her job, asking her if she smokes, and when she mentions her mother smokes, he gives me this for free. What do these sell for? Not very much. These aren't very valuable. Unless they're like in mint condition and they're in working condition and they come in the original box and are sometimes made out of silver. This particular one, it generally sells on the internet I see them selling between $35 to $150. It depends also. A lot of collectors, it's really cool, collect these that are monogrammed and they look for a specific monogram. I had one in my Etsy shop that sold for $150, made by Ronson, was from the 1940s, I believe, and it had the funniest initials, and it had DAB, and that's what people do nowadays. They dab, I guess, marijuana oil. So the guy was so happy about it. He's like, I gotta have it. Those initials are amazing. I have to have the dab cigarette case and lighter. And he paid $150 for it. And it wasn't even in the best condition. So initials can even actually make a difference in the value. MD, a doctor might want this one because it has the initials MD. Somebody's name must have been like Michael something. Michael Donahue. I'm gonna just like guess, but yeah. So yeah, initials actually mean something to certain people, and they will actually collect these vintage lighters if they have a certain initial written on it. Not bad, not bad at all for something free. We're gonna look at some ads from when the Mastercase Ronson lighters were made. So let's go over to a segue. Now here's a 1933 Ronson Mastercase, and again, they don't sell for very much. I mean, $109. You'll see them actually. I mean, this one isn't perfect. I can't blow it up, unfortunately, but this one did come with the original box, so it's gonna gain more attention from collectors. But there you go. There's that interior, especially if they work. Again, that adds to value. And sometimes you'll find them for as low as $45. And here we go. This one's pretty scratched up. It has initials in it. It might not mean anything to anybody, LEA or Leah. But then again, so that's around the price range you'll see these for. Sadly, they're not very valuable. Now, there's an ask for every seat, like I always say. And somebody on a website called Cherish is selling one of these for $1,200. And the crazy part is, this website, Cherish and First Dibs, they always get their prices. I don't know how or why, but it only seems like the rich, the rich people end up actually buying from their sites, and they get the money for these. Now, this one isn't even in the best of condition. You can see it has condition issues on it. Yeah, it's not the greatest. $1,200, I will guarantee you, this person will eventually sell this lighter for this price. Now, if you put this on eBay, you'd be lucky to get $30 for it. Now, the Ronson Lighter Company actually started as the Art Metal Works in 1897, was incorporated on July 20, 1898, and yeah, they were a huge creative driving force for the company, making many different things, like gifts, basically like gift type of things. And so here we go. They made lamps, inkwells, hood ornaments, and safety matches early on. That was like one of their first type of products. Now here are 1912, let's try to click on it, metal hood ornaments. Really beautiful. Made out of metal. Look at that. This one says America First. Wow, for 1912, they had America First. It's like MAGA. That's really absolutely cool. So we had Patriots back in 1912 as well. So basically, the death of Ronson in 2010, the remaining intellectual property assets, i.e. trademark of the core North American companies, was sold to longtime competitor Zippo. And that is the story of Ronson. Gone with the wind. Now, apparently, Zippo still uses the Ronson name on some of the fuel. It's just limited though. So there you go. Let's check out some of their early here's a 1931 ad, and let's try to blow that up if we can. Oh my god, that got worse. And here we go. Let's just make it bigger and bigger and bigger. There we go. And this is 1931. And you can see they're really cool, innovative designs. Let's go ahead and scroll down. You can see very similar to my type of lighter. And yeah, I have antique perfume bottles and shit over here, so sorry. But there you go, there's one of their ads, 1931. And this was for their D-Light. Now, oh my god, that is so funny. I just told you the name of my cigarette brand that I make is called D-Lights. Now I have to find a Ronson D-Light case. So here's some ads. Here's somebody that collects them. This lady that says she doesn't even smoke. This is their 1926 banjo type of lighter. Let's see if it'll let us blow it up and look at it. And that's the type of box it came in. Really cool. And the next was the D-Light lighter that came out. It says it came out 1926 and 1927. And by the early 1930s, Ronson lighters were the best on the market. And the Ronson made a quality product in the 30s and offered models of different designs. Today, one can find these lighters with no difficulty and with little outlay of cash, as they're cheap. Her collection of smoking paraphernalia has only 5 Ronson lighters, but she's saying there's more that will be in the future. This is the Ronson Mastercase that was made in 1933 for 20 years. Here we go. This one is dated 1938, Ronson Mastercase. Combination cigarette case and lighter. That's a really cool deco look. And yeah, here's some ads. And this one is from what year? Does it even say? This is 1938. And here's the different Ronson lighters you would find. Really interesting. And they made all different kinds of products. They even made pens that actually, it was a pen and a lighter. That is like the coolest innovation ever. If you really think about it, a pen that can light up a cigarette. I mean, that's really genius. And here's some of their pieces. It says the Mastercase retailed for $7.95. Now, this article was written in 2018. Quite a hefty sum. That is equivalent to $143 in 2018, which is probably about $150 now, I'm guessing, with inflation. And it said it did not seem to be a deterrent to customers in the 30s, as one can easily find them at antique stores and flea markets today. And here's the Mastercase showing the inside and the outside with a faux tortoiseshell design. And here's their 20 case. They called it the 20. This was made in 1936. That's a fake tortoiseshell. Here are some of their ads. And this one is dated 1936. Very interesting. Look at this. Very similar to my case. Here's the pen. It's called the pencil lighter. Oh my God, that is the coolest thing. The pencil lighter. They had one with a clock, like a pocket watch built into it. I mean, look at these innovative designs. That is just the coolest thing ever. Here's their open compartment of their 20 case. They had names for different designs. Again, here is some ads, some vintage ads that you'll find with the Ronson lighters in them. This is their touch tip lighter. And you can see this one was from 1937. And they had a hound dog striker lighter. Look at that one on a base. Really cool. And here's more of their animal line. Really cool. And again, here is some more of their designs. One was this. This was from 1936, yet again. And it says, lights the smokes of the nation, world's greatest lighter. And it's not the world's greatest lighter to me right now because I can't get it working. But there's the Ronson pencil lighter. Really, really quite. I'd like to get my hands on one of those. Here's another case, compact combinations. Some of them came with powder. For women, powdered makeup. You could put cigarettes in there as well. Really quite cool. And here we go. And here's the dog striker lighter. And you can see them in vintage movies being used. A lot of like old Hollywood. Wow, this is really cool. This is the Ronson touch tip lighter with watch. That's really great. And again, here's some of their other designs that you might find. And it says, let's see, what's this one? The Ronson Grecian tip lighter from the late 1930s. Looks like it's some kind of celluloid. And look at this one. That is like, look at that, a barmaid, 1939, with cocktails right there. And that is really nifty. And so that one retailed for $19.80 back in 1938, equivalent to $354 in 2018, much more today. And again, here we go with their really innovative designs. The Ronson pencil lighter. That one I really want, and I want the clock one, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. And then we have the Junior Bar. I guess that's what the barmaid lady is. We have blackface. And yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, that is really controversial. I don't think anyone's allowed to even sell that one nowadays. And here's some of the parts that are hard to find. This is the touch tip lighter wand that somebody was saying they had a hard time finding in order to operate the lighter and get it working again. Again, here is the Junior Bar Touch tip lighter. I gather these ones are probably going to be very rare and very expensive. Yeah, I don't think these are easy to come by. Mine is like much more easy to come by than these type. So what do we learn today? We learned don't try to fix the lighter yourself if you don't know anything about it. And don't use that type of Freon type of butane. because it's going to freeze the whole entire case up and make it freezing cold. Who knows? I could have froze the actual fluid could have froze inside here. Let's see. I mean, maybe it works now. I highly doubt it. Yeah, I probably need a new flint wheel, and that would be easy to replace. Take the screw off and stuff like that. And I need the proper fluid for it, but it's just not going to happen. But again, look how much shinier it got. It does have surface wear. That's to be expected. Thanks for watching. I'm glad that elderly guy went up to my daughter and gave her this, because now this is a piece of lighter history and cigarette and tobacco history. It's really cool. Too bad I can't fit my cigarettes in it, but now we do know that this was prior to 1950. This is not a 1950s and up lighter. This was made between 1933 and 1950.